Congratulations, and thank you for stepping out to be a Toastmaster officer trainer for this year. The purpose of this presentation is help you now to step up to develop outstanding trainer qualities. Toastmaster training is essentially a canned speech presentation. That's not a bad thing if you understand that not all cans are created equal. The Toastmasters brand is a premium brand with outstanding ingredients. You will need 2 of these cans to present this training. First, the officer training script, and secondly, the officer manual for the office training you're going to give. Both of these you can download from Toastmasters International at toastmasters.org. If you have this wealth of wonderful training materials, why is it that sometimes training comes across as boring or even deadly? I think the answer may be a lack of preparation or simply a lack of heart. Today I want to give you a simple recipe that will help you take these wonderful ingredients and turn them into a gourmet feast. The first step is to open the can. Read the material, especially if you've been an officer for umpty 2 years. You need to read the material. You may be assuming that everyone understands what this office requires. You need to get back to basics. Also, all of us over the years have developed notions about what our office entails. Reading the material will help to dispel these notions. In addition, you may just learn something new. Are you aware that at the end of each officer manual, there's a leadership evaluation guide in which the club can evaluate you at the end of your officer year? This was only introduced a year ago, so if you haven't read a manual in a while, you could be in for a really nice treat. Next, you need to marinate. This is the planning stage. You have such a wealth of material. How will you focus on what needs to be presented? The first thing you need to do is think through your goals as a trainer. Your number 1 responsibility is to provide practical training for these officers and give them a firm foundation for their year. Number 2 is to provide the tools necessary so that each club can become distinguished. Number 3, encourage the officers to plan and grow and work together as a team with the other officers for maximum success. Number 4, answer questions and stimulate discussion. And number 5, this one I think may actually be the most important. Make sure that the officers understand what's available in this officer manual and what other resources are available to them to help answer questions during their year. Next, once you've focused, you need to organize the presentation. A good place to start are the standards for success. I attended a training led by Lark Doley in which she used the standards for success as the outline for her training. But she didn't tell us these standards. Instead, she asked us, beginning with the newest officer, to tell her what we thought the standards should be. One by one, she listed them on the whiteboard, and we discussed them. This showed that Lark had truly done her homework because she could talk about them in our order instead of hers. When we had finished, she then handed out the standards from the manual. Now she had our rapt attention. What had we left out? This is an outstanding way to keep interest level high for all levels of officer experience. In addition, you might introduce the officer manual by showing them this leadership evaluation guide and assuring them that during your training, you will give them the tools they need to get an outstanding evaluation. That will get a Toastmaster's attention. Next, you need to season the dish. The particular spices you put in the dish will give it its distinctive flavor. So you can look for examples from your own club experience. You can talk about best challenges, best practices, challenges, successes, and lessons learned. And better, you could ask the officers in attendance, the seasoned ones, to give examples. They're called seasoned officers for a reason. Best yet, call in advance some experienced officers and ask them if they will serve on a panel during part of your presentation to give a wider variety of experiences from a broad spectrum of club cultures. Next, you need to cook this dish to perfection. The way you do it will depend upon your personal style. For my husband, Tim, it's get out the grill, throw the steak on, flip it over after 2 minutes, another 2 minutes, and he's good to go. For me, I'm more the crock pot type of preparer. I add all the ingredients, stir them carefully, taste it several times to make sure it is blended perfectly. Whatever your style, if you practice your presentation, you will have a better feast. Then you need to garnish. I learned about this from my Japanese son-in-law. When his wife wanted to buy a Japanese cookbook at a library book sale, he said, "Absolutely not. The book has no pictures. How can you cook good Japanese food if you don't know how to present the dish?" You can garnish by using visual aids. You can use PowerPoints or flip charts or handouts for take-home value. Grace Jennings is known for bringing many handouts to her presentations, but she doesn't come in with a stack of papers like this. Instead, she brings sample handouts in attractive folders and passes those around. If you want one of her handouts, just give her your email and she will send it to you. This saves trees. It puts the handouts with the people who will make use of them and enables those people to share those handouts with others. Jerry Barrett is also eager to put the material on the District 55 website. And for the final touch, an enthusiastic delivery. If Walmart hires smiling faces, can we do any less? If you deliver this material with enthusiasm and truly believe in what you're saying, you'll get an enthusiastic response from your participants. My challenge to you is the next time you're asked to be an officer trainer or just volunteer for the position, you use this simple recipe and you, as well as your participants, can enjoy the feast. And perhaps you'll give such an outstanding presentation that it will be worthy of the Best Speaker Award.